That was it. Trying to be as upbeat as possible. Talked about the concentration, saying it, but no fans at Anfield is a massive difference, because those nights there, we've been to many of them. Obviously, it didn't work for them last season with Atletico when there were fans, but they've had some great comebacks. Now they've got to do it without their fans at a time where they're struggling at home.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I thought it was a disappointing performance overall. They can do it still. They've got the players to do it. Yeah. Madrid aren't. This isn't a vintage team, but it's just Liverpool aren't on top form at the minute. And we did question before the game: was that Arsenal thing, the game, a flicker of light? Was it the resurgence of this team? On that evidence, then they've still got a long way to go. But they've got to find something, and there've been miracles at Anfield before.
Yeah, strange things happen. I mean, it's not all lost anyway. 3-1 is not the worst result in the world. 3-0. On the other hand, would be.
Yeah, no, the away goal's so important, isn't it? But just didn't feel that they got close to anyone tonight. Cruz dictated the game, didn't feel that they got into him. Vinicius' pace was causing trouble all evening. The one plus point was obviously the away goal, and they're back to Anfield, and they'll be hoping for more.
The experience. We always talk about experience as well at this stage of the tournament, knockout phases. The Modric, Cruz, Benzema, them three there, bringing the others through. Vinicius.
Liverpool have got experience now. They've got a lot of Champions League winners on that pitch as well. And the players up front have been.
Yeah, but these boys we're talking there have got hundreds of games at this level, and then they've been here many, many years, not just the 1 or 2 years like Liverpool players. Yes, they've had recent history in this tournament, but them players I'm talking about have been in this tournament like 10, 15 years, and so that counts for a lot. And when you've got young bloods alongside you like Vinicius, who's been touted as one of the next superstars to come out of Brazil. Today he showed up in the Champions League and give us a little example of what he's about.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the midfield area, I thought, tonight. I thought we all said that the midfield would be a crucial point. 29, 31, 35 years of age. Now, they're brilliant on the ball, and that's what Spanish football is. It's dictating the ball. But I just think you can, if you go at them, if you have the energy, like when Anderson's in there.
That's normally the Klopp and Liverpool way. So why are they not playing that way now?
Well, Rio made a good point right at the start, I think, and I think it starts from the back. When you're so confident in your back two that they can go 1-to-1, you can squeeze, you can do whatever you like, you can flood men forward, you can push your full-backs forward again. You can do so many things, but when you're vulnerable at the back, it goes down like a pack of cards.
I think it's having a knock-on effect, not only on the midfield, but also perhaps the full-backs who've been nothing like
it's a knock-on effect. It's like a domino effect. And now they're just not pressing with the same enthusiasm, with the same energy. And this midfield that they're playing against, yes, it's brilliant. It has been brilliant for so many years, but you can overrun them with pure energy and physique and everything. And I'm sure you could at Anfield, but it just doesn't feel like that energy's in that engine room at the moment.
Can you see them turn it around, Peter?
Listen, they've got the ability to do it. I think if there was crowd in the stadium, it'd be a different story. It is a lot more difficult now. But watching Real Madrid tonight, we have to take your hat off as well when you do let those boys play in midfield. And I thought they defended well tonight as well.
And a word on Zidane, before we tell you what else has happened this evening. Zidane, he pulls out some results, doesn't he?
It's amazing what he does. I mean, the way he's got this team, and you wouldn't sit here and say that this is one of the best Real Madrid teams you've seen in the last 4 or 5 years. But he just manages to get big results at big moments. And today they showed up. And I was convinced before this game that the Liverpool would get something out of it. And they really just came and they dusted Liverpool down.
2 good games, Champions League knockout stages, always deliver.
Yeah, and we've got goals.
And they're not even the second legs.
Yeah, exactly. And what's good about it is that the 2 second legs have still got a bit to play for.
Lots to play for.
Yeah, you hate to go into the second leg and it's like a 3 or 4-0. Yeah. We're going to be going to Anfield hopefully with something to do.
No, I think we'll quite enjoy that night, and they'll have a real go. They've got to have more of a go than that, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, at half-time, 2-0, you are really worrying. I think Jurgen Klopp would probably have taken 3-1 at half-time.
Oh, unquestionably, I would say.
It gives them a chance.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the Salah goal that has given them that vital away goal. We discussed them playing through the lines and playing quickly.
Yeah, and it's that man again, isn't it? Mo Salah. How many times has he come to Liverpool's rescue with big goals? But Liverpool play really well, as you say, through the lines, direct play along the floor, fast. Jota was great little dummy there. Just falls to Salah. His touch isn't great. It bobbles back between his legs a little bit, but he manages to just prod it home. And that straight early on in the second half, you think, right then, come on, Liverpool are
just
starting the game
onside.
and yeah, exactly. They took a lot of time actually to come to that decision, but they got there in the end, which is the main thing.
I think the big part of that goal is the speed with which they played through the lines. Just the first half was slow and it was just cumbersome. There you saw there was an injection in pace in the game, and that's what we talked about before. Can Madrid live with that kind of pace when they play quick? They couldn't for that instance, but they couldn't maintain it.
Yeah, that was the only shot that Liverpool had on target against a team missing their two key central defenders.
Yeah, I mean,
Varane and Ramos.
Just not good enough, was it? It was. I don't know what was happening there. There was a lack of cutting edge. I think it was the only moment really in the match where, as Rio said, they injected a little bit of pace into it, and you felt that they were going to create, and it just wasn't anywhere near enough of it. No,
Vinicius certainly was his night, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's sort of... You watch him sometimes, don't you? Think, wow, what a player. But then sometimes you think he goes missing a lot of the time. Yeah. He is young.
His finishing has been poor in the games that I've seen, a lot of them, but it certainly wasn't this evening.
It wasn't this evening. He was a constant thorn, wasn't he? And obviously, Trent's best attribute is going forward. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. Showed on occasions tonight how good he is. But on this side, he got a little bit of joy. I mean, I felt this was almost a knock-on effect. I mean, Rio, you'll know better, but everyone seemed sort of half a yard short from this moment to then Fabinho and then in the middle. And
everyone's static. You've got one player in the box there against 4 Liverpool red shirts. He runs off of Trent there. Trent's got to go over in there. In the box, you've got to stay, or at least you've got to scream to your centre-back partner, man on. I don't think he does either. And then I don't think Nat Phillips can react in that short space of time. And it's a
goalkeeper,
maybe the keeper, but it's a decent finish. I mean, he's only had 4 goals before this game, Vinicius, and today he gets 2, and he looked a real player.
He certainly did. The damage was done early on, though, wasn't it? I think you've had a look at the goals in the first half.
Yeah, and we talked about Madrid losing their 2 experienced centre-halves, but obviously the same has happened for Liverpool a little while back. And here, this is Toni Kroos. We all know what he's like when he gets the ball and how good he is. He gets the ball here, the ball's out of his feet, and what's he doing? He's scanning the pitch. Who's available? Who's on? And once that happens, as a centre-half, you can't stand in a line like this.
We hear the phrase a lot, Rio, don't we? You cannot go forward when there's no pressure on the ball. Yeah. Explain exactly why you can't do that as a defender.
Yeah, well, like I said to you there, Toni Kroos is the man on the ball. He's scanning the pitch. When he's got no pressure on the ball like this, there's nobody in front of him to get his head down. His head's up, he can see the whole pitch. Once that happens, and you know there's pace around you, for instance, as well. Benzema's quick enough. Vinicius obviously is very, very quick. As a centre-half, especially here, you've got to drop it, the opposite side of the ball. Drop off a little bit. If he just drops off maybe to around I'm not talking 10 yards, 5 yards, drop off. He then, at the moment, he can only see one person. Can he see? Benzema. That's the only person he can see. He can't see over his right shoulder, who is Vinicius, who is the man who gets in. And I'll slow it down here. The moment he looks, there he looks now, right? His body is facing which way? Phillips is facing this way. He's now got to turn 180 degrees to get round. The man running, Vinicius, is already on his bike to get in there. So in a foot race, the man turning can't get up to a pace to catch the man who's already facing that way.
You've got to drop early to give yourself the chance.
If you drop
especially
early...
when there's no pressure, because when there's no pressure, they can pass the ball when it suits them.
Yeah, and if he drops early, the ball's now coming onto him rather than having to chase back. And you see here, and from this moment on, there's only one person winning, and then it's about instinct. The first touch, taking it across the defender, takes him out of the game completely. It's a beautiful finish. But these type of situations can be stopped at source. The second goal, again, we see it. I'll show you. They don't learn from that mistake. The 2 wide players, all game were running inside and behind. Toni Kroos gets on the ball. What's he doing when he gets it? The player, the class that he is, scanning the pitch. The 2 wide players, there's one, there's the other. The only thought in their mind is here. Yeah. The 2 centre-backs. Watch the 2 centre-backs in the middle of the pitch here. These 2 boys here.
Are you pretty sure Zidane's looked at the Liverpool team and gone straight direct balls over the top are on? Because that's not the way they normally play over there, is it?
And this is definitely a tactical thing that they've worked on. And watch the 2 centre-backs in this picture I've got highlighted there. They don't move. Their reaction, they stand up, they stand still when there's no pressure on the ball. And before you know it, sorry, let me just let it roll on. How is that possible that you look at the difference in the positions there? the back line. That's back to front. The two centre-halves
should be behind.
Should be here. Waiting for that ball to come over, and then you go onto the ball and you head that clear. And then obviously from here on in, this is about Trent Alexander-Arnold just getting it wrong, gets himself in the muddle, and he was punished. And it's a fantastic finish. But you can stop these type of things at Souls. Yes, they're young, inexperienced defenders, but they are fundamentals of a defender's makeup.
I don't know about you, Michael, because you're kind of similar to me in the way you play, and you like to spin behind defenders and stuff. It's a dream for a striker when teams play that high, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you've got midfield players that can pass it.
I hated it actually, Gary.
That's why I didn't bring you in.
I know, I just hated it. Why do they do that?
You could have always stood there, little flick on.
I had more than that, you know.
Two
And a
things
volley
I would
from
say.
35 yards in the top corner occasionally.
Two things I would say to counter it, or to agree in many ways, is that, one, we spoke about it before, a lot of the time Liverpool, in the past, how many times do you see their front three nicking the ball? Kroos doesn't even get his head up.
Yeah.
There's players nicking the ball off him. They doesn't get his... And the second thing, I'd say, half the teams that play against wouldn't even try that ball when Van Dijk and Gomez are there. They would look at it, they wouldn't even be working on it tactically. They would just say, forget that, forget trying to go over the top against these lads. You've got to play in a different way. So now people smell danger. People smell something thinking, right, we can get at them like this.
Why has Liverpool as a team lost that energy?
Well, those two goals that Rio's touched on there, it's so simple, isn't it? Like, Toni Kroos is one of the best passers in world football. You've got a bit of pace on the left-hand side, and you've just played not a simple ball, but, you know, a very good ball over the top of the centre-half who's too high, and the pace has got in. And obviously, yeah, very good finishes and great goals, but from a Liverpool point of view, far too simple against a team like Real Madrid. You know, I think, does it come from the manager? You know, still... He hasn't got that pace at centre-back anymore. And, you know, you can't play this high line. You know, your defenders, I think, do have to be 5, 6, 7 yards deeper, don't they?
I agree 100%. But also, going back to your point, with the question you asked,